Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakali, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is about current events and, of course, biblical prophecy. So I'll start in the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And yes, indeed, the end of the rulership of the Edomites, right? The kingdom of Esau Edom has an expiry date, all right? It is but for a little moment. They're ruling for a little season, as it says in the book of Revelation chapter 20, right? And it's coming to an end. Wickedness will not last forever, right? And so it says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And so what we're going to be seeing in these final days are all kinds of things. All right, you're going to see a time of great tribulation, which is Jacob's trouble. You're going to see a famine like never before. People talk about a famine of biblical proportions. Well, it's coming, but it's going to be worse. You're going to see events such as the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai have spiritual power. You're going to see creatures manifest that have never been seen before. Spirits that were made for vengeance, as it talks about in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, we're heading into days leading towards the kingdom of Yahweh Shemishai. And so many great things will happen. We're going to be seeing more frequent sightings of the chariots, which that has been frequent. Even back in verse 3 when it talks about uproars of the people in the world, that's been happening. Okay, and the earthquakes, that's been happening. So the signs have been showing themselves. All right, and another sign that shows itself is this, the moon. All right, now we've seen over the years several different moons, but to me they seem to be happening more frequently, or maybe it's because I've just been paying attention to it, but overall these things are signs, right? So as I said before, this is a current events video. So here it is, current events. Today is November 8th, 2022, the year of hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shemishai. And now we have another blood moon that will be occurring. So you have from space.com, you have the New York Times, etc. Okay. And, this is Luke chapter 21 and verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, right? So there will be signs in the heavens, man. And these signs are signs of the end, all right, when they happen more frequently. So back to the 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. All right, and every single time the moon shows herself to be, or itself to be, changing or to show such sign, it is a sign. All right, so moving on from that. You know, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. But other current events, we have the death of Evelyn de Rothschild, who is the London head of banking dynasty, dies at 91. Now we know that this is one of Esau Edom's top elite. All right, and I remember another one of them passed. When was it? Maybe last year or something. But they dying out, man. They dying out because they're old, right? And you know the thing is, reincarnation is real and it's biblical, right? So back in flesh, back in incarnation flesh, right? So Evelyn de Rothschild is going to be reborn. But you see, the thing is, whereas, you know, these elite of Esau Edom, they know what we speak is the truth. So they know that reincarnation is real. And, you know, they could have maybe banked on at one time that, you know, Evelyn de Rothschild would come back and then they continue their relationship. But you see, the days that we're currently in, it's not looking like that, man. It is going to be in this lifetime that Yahushua returns. Okay, that is for sure. Right? You can clearly see that through the spirit. And so he's going to be reborn in the kingdom, in shackles, in chains. All right, because as it says in the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So we're still in captivity to this day. As it says in the book of Baruch. Get that. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Right? So we, the Israelites, are still in captivity, right? So back to this. The Edomites are the ones that have us in captivity right now. So they're going to have to be going into captivity, man. All right, that is their judgment, right? So he's going to be reborn in the kingdom, and he's going to be a slave for the Israelites, as he is an Edomite, okay? This ain't no speckled bird. This is an Edomite, okay? And, you know, when these things are happening, you know, of course, you look at what's going on in the world and the push towards the mark of the beast, which is that microchip, and the development of these central bank digital currencies. Now, this is probably, they probably knew that he was on his way out, but, you know, they've been speeding things up overall. You know, I said they, as in the Edomites, but really it is Yahweh Shemeshai that is speeding things up, as this is ultimately the works of Yahweh Shemeshai, right? And so it says, because we're heading into that time, man, in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Who's the devil that is talking about? Esau Edom. Okay, the great deceiver that deceived the world into believing that they're the Lord's holy chosen people, into deceiving the world that that image that they portray, that image of what they call Jesus Christ is the Messiah, when it is not. That's not Yahweh Shai. All right, they deceive the world with all these things. Okay, it's come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he knows his time is short. And really, I think I saw the Elder Malcolm from the Chicago camp post a video that it's going, you know, the next event, if I recall. I need to look back and watch it, you know. But it really is, when you look at the current situation of the world and how things are aligned and in place, it really just takes one big event. One big event, such as what happened back in, what year was it? 2001? With those two buildings? Yeah, something like that, man, to really get things popping. You know, it's very close. You know, Yahweh Shemeshai can really just let things happen just like that. You know, but this devil knows his time is short, and that's why we see the very quick development of these central bank digital currencies, which is a part of the framework leading towards the new digital payment system, and that market chip is going to be the way to buy and sell. That market chip is, once again, that mark of the beast, right? So these things are coming, man. Okay. Now, besides that, we have a new situation that's occurring. Not really new, but they're doing it in a new way, where now they are terminating brothers' channels without warning. As in, before there was some kind of grace period of you'd get striked like once, twice, and then even once you got striked, there could be like a 30-day or a 60-day period where if that strike goes away and then you don't get striked again, then you go back down to like no strikes or whatever. Okay, now they're just outright terminating brothers' channels, just like that, point blank. So, that is a telling sign of the times, right? That Esau is starting to put his foot down even more aggressively in regards to, stopping this word. But we know that he can't do anything about that, But that's another part of biblical prophecy that we're heading into, which has been spoken about so many times. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. So we're heading into this prophecy as well. It shall come to pass, where, people will not be able to hear this word. It will not be accessible anymore. There will, in fact, come the day when the prophets will no longer be able to go out on the highways and byways. I mean, out here in Jamaica, we experienced that, where we weren't able to go on the highways and byways due to that worldwide situation that now has seemingly disappeared from nowhere, the same way as it came in, But yeah, man, we weren't able to go out on the highways and byways until this year, right? And that was just a little taste where people weren't able to hear the word out there on the highways and byways. But it's coming on a more extreme level. All of these prophecies are coming in a more extreme level, right? And you people out there, man, it says in verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it, right? Because the days are going to be coming where it is going to be so obvious to the eye. It's obvious to the eye, but for these people, these unbelieving people, man, it's going to be so overwhelmingly obvious that something's going to hit their spirits. But as it says in chapter 12, it's going to be too late, man. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh. So they're going to be looking for the prophets, man, right? They're going to be looking for us that have been out there, right? And they will not find the word. All right, because there is a period where the Lord simply is not going to have that word accessible to you people, man. And so it is important that in these days that you seek Yahweh Hashem Shai and you take heed to the words of Yahweh Hashem Shai, right? And the prophets are simply just mouthpieces, just to reiterate the words of the Lord and let you people know, But that's why it's good to get right, and in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So seek Yahweh Hashem Shai right now. All right, absorb this word the best way that you can. And this word, faith is given unto you, right? By Yahweh Hashem Shai, the word, it bolsters your faith, And in the days that we're heading into, it says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation, right? So it is important to know these scriptures, man, to hold you firm in the days to come, right? Because, for example, when it is that you're in a position where you're going to be beheaded, what's going to be going through your mind, Lord willing, on that day, that you shall still receive a crown of life, So it's important, man. Okay, but yeah, man, That's the message for today, and that's just some current events. With that, I'd like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, by Shemikah Kodesh, wa Abad Babal, Shalom.